Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for World Trigger Chapter 50. And I have an exam tomorrow, and I've been studying for it for the last few days, which is why this World Trigger review is going up now instead of yesterday. It's why my Hunter x Hunter and Tokyo Ravens reviews will probably not be up today either. Um, but yeah, spring break is next week, so everything should be out on time. Um, except for Strike the Blood, because I won't be. Okay, whatever. All right, World Trigger. This one, it's the new rabbit type, the new type of rabbit Triumph Soldier thing. It shows up, and it showed up last chapter, but you know what I mean. It starts doing things. It shoots this beam from its mouth, and everyone just starts running away because they know they've just got no chance. The Three Stooges too. Those dudes had to retreat. They were out of there. Um, and I and Osamu, they show up. They're the only ones that don't retreat, and everyone's happy they're there. Chika, Izuho, Osamu's classmates, they're all happy that Osamu's there, and the famous Aikitora of Arashiyama squad is there. So they're happy about that. And actually, a Marmot shows up too, a Marmot. So I decides that she's going to take on the new type rabbit on her own, while Osamu goes and takes on the Marmot. All right, and Osamu, he's remembering back to the last time he tried to fight a Marmot, and he got his butt kicked. and you would tell him, hey man, you need like 20 of you in order to beat a Marmot, and even then, 18 of those 20 would die. All right, so he's remembering that he's not very good against them, but he also remembers some of the training he did with Karasuma, and well, Usami was helping out too because it was virtual training where he fought it's pretty much the same thing that they were doing at border headquarters not too long ago, where Hima kept getting a record with beating it in fractions of a second, stuff like that. They were doing that, and Osamu just fought Marmots day after day after day, time after time after time, and he just fought them nonstop. And by doing all of that training, he realized that Marmots are pretty logical, and the way they fight, the way they act, is due to their programming. And the more you fight these Marmots, the more apparent their programming becomes. You just start to get used to their movements, and you see patterns, and you start to realize how exactly it is that they act. So using that experience that he now has, Osamu is able to defeat the Marmot using mainly a Ray Gust, but he used Asteroid at one point too. And apparently what he needed to do was he needed to force himself to imagine forcing a counterattack, which is it's like that thing where if you think you're gonna lose, then you're gonna lose. You can't win unless you actually see yourself winning. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to actually see it. It's like in Card Fight Vanguard, you have a winning image. It's like that. You need to believe that you can win. You need to imagine yourself winning. You need to imagine yourself counterattacking, and then you'll be able to do it. So it's something like that. And that's pretty much it for the chapter. I enjoyed the chapter, but at the same time, I think a couple things could have been done better because Osamu's character development is good, because I remember in the beginning of the series I didn't really care about him at all, to be honest. To me, Yuma was the guy, and if it wasn't Yuma, then I just didn't care. But now I actually care about Osamu, so the author must be, Daisuke Ashihara must be doing something right? So, Osamu's definitely getting character development. It's just that the point of the flashbacks here was to build up him getting stronger, but they didn't actually it just didn't feel as good as it could have been, because I don't know, maybe it's the fact that he was fighting a Marmot and not the new type rabbit. Now everyone's fighting these tougher opponents, and Osamu's still stuck in the past with the opponents that used to be tough but now aren't as tough. I don't know, maybe it's something like that. I think the main problem is that the fight itself, it didn't really it didn't feel as though it meant as much, because we didn't see Osamu having much trouble. Like there were a couple panels where it looked like he was actually where the Marmot was actually a challenge, but they were like mixed into the flashback, and it was like one panel, maybe two, like the one where he used Asteroid. There was one where he blocked a strike from the Marmot with the Ray Gus. I mean, but it was just like the fight was short, and it was short, and he just won. It was actually he just won. So like, it just didn't feel as momentous. It didn't feel as though it was as big a deal as it could have been. At Lasami, it took 20. It used to be that he needed 20 clones just to beat a Marmot, but now he can beat one by himself. Like it just didn't feel as big as it could have felt. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But it's still a pretty decent chapter. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It could have been better, but it still wasn't bad. So yeah. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It just didn't feel as good as it could have been. It didn't feel as big of a deal as it could have been. But yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah, chapter gets a 7.5 out of 10. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. 信じる